providers of Minnesota's The Inside Scoop, with your advocacy team, Toby Pearson, Aaron Bowie, and Todd Bergstrom. This week's host, Toby Pearson.
Welcome to today's Inside Scoop. Today is Friday, April 20th. Ta-da! This was an exciting and fun-filled week for us at the Capitol. There was a lot of discussion about protection of vulnerable adults, and a lot of the action happened last night, so I will run through it quickly so that you have an update. First, we're going to start on the Senate side. So on the Senate side, they are currently planning on running the bill on its own, but they are carrying some of the money in the Health and Human Services, what is kind of referred to as an omnibus bill. So we had the testimony on the Housley bill yesterday. During the testimony, we got up and we testified about our concerns that we still have with the bill. We touched on four main areas. First, interested persons. Second, retaliation expansions. Third, the Home Care Bill of Rights expansion. And fourth, some deceptive marketing expansions. During the course of the bill, there was an amendment offered that also brought up some issues we would have with the rulemaking process that they would be proposing. Because of that amendment, the bill now has to take another stop where it will stop in Senator Kiffmeyer's local government committee. So we will have that hearing we're anticipating next week. So despite all of our concerns, the bill continues to move forward, but we continue to work with Senator Housley to try to improve the bill. We think we made some headway in making some strong arguments yesterday, and so we'll hope that the Senate can change course and help us out a little bit as we move forward. Shortly after that, the House met and put together their Health and Human Services Omnibus Bill by Chair Dean. So the House is taking a different approach right now. They seem to be sending the bill in an omnibus bill, so our portion of the protection of vulnerable adults will be in a larger omnibus bill that will be moving its way through the House. So it'll be interesting to see how they match them up at the end. They will no doubt match them up at the end, but so far they're taking two different courses. So in the Health and Human Services Finance Bill, chaired by Matt Dean, who, by the way, is retiring from the legislature, and last night was his last, at least right now, that he will be chairing any hearings of the HHS Finance. So thank you to Chairman Dean for all the work he's done for older adults in the past few years. But back to the business at hand, Representative Zerwas developed an amendment to the HHS Omnibus Finance Bill that we supported and worked with him on, gave some input and some suggestions. There was a lot of discussion about whether or not it went far enough, whether or not it did enough of what the advocates had asked for, whether or not it gave the department enough of what they were looking for. But in the end, everybody voted for it to go into the omnibus bill. So now, as I said, the omnibus bill moves along its process. So we anticipate that will be going to its next stop next week, where it should be heard, I believe, in the Ways and Means Committee next week. The process then is going to take different tone as it moves forward, because now you will have two different bills moving, and we will also anticipate that we will be heading towards the floor. We are told that they will be heading to the floor possibly late next week or early the following week. So things will be moving ahead, and then we'll end up in some sort of conference committee. But that's not the only issues we're watching at the Capitol, because, as you remember, the Senate is also doing an omnibus bill. So the House is doing one omnibus bill and including the abuse protection stuff in there. The Senate is doing the protection stuff on its own, and then also doing an omnibus bill. So we had both Senator Benson as well as Senator Abler put together their Health and Human Services Finance omnibus bills, which are now making the next stop in the process as well. They will move forward to the Finance Committee, and then they will mash it all together and make one big omnibus bill, we think right now, as it moves towards the floor. They do contain some things that we continue to watch and work on. We have conversations with both the chairs scheduled for next week to go over some more issues within their omnibus bills. So we continue to work on those as well. So that is the way things are headed at the Capitol. Late night last night, but that was to be anticipated. We expect some more late nights. But like they say around the Capitol, things usually don't heat up at the Capitol until the weather outside starts to get nice. And we are just now starting to move into spring. So happy spring, everybody, and that is the Inside Scoop.